So today's video is all on center face contact. So what we want to do as a golfer is we want to kind of live in the middle of the face. Some of you live on the toe, some of you live on the heel. We're going to try to prescribe drills and exercises to help you move it around to get you more towards the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit a ball now. And as you can see, I have my iPad there, which is going to help us identify where I hit it in the middle of the face. I've not been practicing, so we're going to see what the swing looks like. Well, you're going to see what the swing looks like, and then we'll kind of see where I hit it on the face. And historically, I'm pretty center face. I might be a couple millimeters on the toe. And for me, I like to really, if I'm playing a lot, which is not really a thing I'm doing right now, I'm just really teaching a ton, I'm trying to live within 3 millimeters of the face. On tour, they're within 3 millimeters. They're probably on the same spot every single time. You at home, or I should say, before I go to you at home, a really good golfer would be within 5 millimeters, and they'd be able to tell if that was toe or heel. As we start, our handicaps start rising a little bit, 10 millimeters is a great place to shoot for, but a lot of you out there are 15, 20, 25 millimeters and have no idea. So let's try to get the feeling. Obviously, we're fortunate enough to own a TrackMan, so we're able to identify that quite easily. Again, for you at home, you could use impact tape, or you could use the foot spray, Dr. Scholl's foot spray. You spray it on the face, and it'll identify for you. So here we go. Have not practiced, have not really swung too much this winter. So here we go. And so I felt like that was middle of the face. We'll take a look there. It's going to pop up. So that look middle, right? So it's 2 millimeters. It looks like it's on the toe bias. That's what I said my tendency is. I'm going to hit one more for you. And that was a good ball. That was like a slight draw. Went 167.3, I think it says. So we're going to go ahead and hit another one. We're going to see if there's a bias here. Felt a little more toe-ish. Right, so 3 millimeters. So I'm kind of dialed in with the face. Like I said, I'm a center face player. So if I were a player that was struggling with hitting it on the toe a little bit, right, the club, right, if the ball's here, if I'm hitting on the toe, the club must be working towards me. The club must be working in towards me, whether it's out to in, no matter where it is. My elbows might be bending, the club's working towards me, right, because that's what's exposing the toe. So what I could do is I could take 2 golf tees, which we all have, and if I were outside, this would be easier. I'd place one vertically outside of the toe, about a ½ inch, and I'd place another one in the ground about a ½ inch on a diagonal. As you're a better player, you can tighten that a little bit. You can go from a ½ inch to a ¼ inch, to a 1/16 of an inch, to a 32nd of an inch. I mean, I would practice it with as close as possible, as long as you're not hitting the tees. So if I were a player that was hitting the toe, what I might do is I'd place the ball down on the ground, and I'm going to place this tee on the ground outside of it, and I'm almost going to try to get to it. Right? So here I go. I'm on the ground. Ball's there. I'm putting the tee on the ground there. And I'm going to try to hit this ball solid, but try to chase and get to that tee a little bit so that I start exposing a little bit of the heel. Right? And it's a little bit weird to set up in here. Good. That looks pretty good to me. Good. Perfect. So I may not get to it. The idea is that I'm getting more middle or more towards the heel, slightly. No one's trying to shank one or do anything weird. So here we go. I'm going to try to hit the ball and remove the tee. All right, so the tee's gone. Let's see if it's more in the middle, if we even work towards the heel. All right, so you can see there, another good ball, went 173.4. Maybe a little overdraw for me, but I hit it in the heel. All right, I achieved what I was trying to do. I put a little gate down there. I said, it's got to get further from me if I want to hit it in the heel more, right? Conversely, if I grab the ball here, I threw it down. Again, maybe I'm heeling it. Maybe the guy's shanking it. I'm going to throw a tee down here. I'm going to try to remove that tee. By me removing that tee, the club's working closer to me now. So, right, the club's working closer to me. All right? So we're getting the ball down on the ground. Again, before, because this is working confusing, the club was working closer to me, so I rehearsed getting it further away from me. Does that make sense to you? Now the club's working too far away from me, so I'm heeling it, so I'm going to rehearse getting it closer to me. So I'll put a tee on the inside of the heel here, just somewhere in there. And now I'll try to strike this solid and kind of remove the tee. And if I set it up anywhere near, correct, it should be in the middle or slightly on the toe. Or maybe a lot on the toe. It's all okay. The idea is do the opposite of what you're doing. If you slice it, hit some hooks, hit some draws, right? If you're hooking it, let's if you're hitting push blocks, let's hit some pull fades. So we're going here. Going to the top. You can see I kind of removed it. That definitely was on the toe. right? You can definitely feel that. Once I get outside of 5 millimeters, I can definitely feel that easily. So for you at home, here's a simple way, right? Super simple for you to start finding the middle of the face, to train yourself to find the middle of the face. So what I'm doing is, whether we put head covers, whether we put tees, start working on it maybe a half an inch away and start migrating inward. How good can you get? How close can you get? Now, don't get ridiculous where it's touching it. If it's touching it, you have no chance. But if you're a toe hitter, feel free to place a tee out here and try to swing. Don't send it way out here, but slightly get it more outward. That's going to put the ball, which was on the toe, a little more in the middle. Conversely, if your player is hitting it in the heel, right, the club's working so in, you can put it here and try to get it a little closer to you. That's going to put it a little more in the toe. So that's the simplest way. So whether you have access to a launch monitor like TrackMan, whether you use impact tape, which we highly recommend sometimes for the recreational golfer, or like a Dr. Scholl's foot spray, any of these tools can be a great training exercise for you to find the middle of the face.